So You Know moments with a twist. Your host, Dr. Jackson Dean, the Pen Slayer. You ready? Let's go. Just so you know, moments with a twist. Oh, talk show host, speaker, life and success strategist, author. Oh yeah. I inspire, empower, and coach others to be the best version of themselves. Just so you know, moments with a twist. Are you ready?
Just So You Know moment is brought to you by Dr. LaShonda Jackson Dean, Jackson Dean Investments, and JDI Multimedia Network. Just so you know, Dr. Jackson Dean, the TV talk show queen, the Pen Slayer, and multiple national and international best-selling author says, I am a talk show host, a speaker, life and success strategist, and an author. I inspire, empower, and coach others to be the best version of themselves. Welcome to Just So You Know moment with a twist. I am your host, Dr. LaShonda Jackson Dean. So get ready for a very informative show tonight. We have the wonderful, magnificent, and handsome Mr. Nikeda Maxie of She Should Know. So y'all, let's find out just exactly what she should know. Welcome, Mr. Nikeda Maxie. How are you, sir?
Hey. Thank you so much, doctor. And thank you for having me on.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for being the best part of Just So You Know moment with a twist. So tell us, who exactly is Mr. Nikeda Maxie?
So in a nutshell, Nikeda Maxie is a regular guy, work a full-time job, and I have a passion for health and wellness. I have a passion for helping people just improve their life. And so I believe the best way to do that is starting with their health from the inside out. And then also I have a goal of starting a ministry and a nonprofit so that I can help more people and impact more lives. And so every day I'm working towards attaining that goal, and I'm just excited about where I'm at, and I'm more excited about where I'm going to be when I reach that goal of helping and impacting more lives.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's funny you should say that you work a full-time job in the oil and gas industry. My last show, we were discussing entrepreneurs that work a full-time job. And sometimes we hear people say, oh, they're not real entrepreneurs if they don't do it full-time. Well, what most people don't understand that people who work a full-time job and also run a business, they're still doing it full time. They just happen to have a job to go along with it.
Right. They have to do more in less time. So.
Absolutely. So I always tell my clients, hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a job and also working your business. You use your job to fund your dream.
Exactly.
Until you are physically and financially stable enough to walk off that job and do your business completely full time, stay on your job and collect that money and put it into your business.
I absolutely agree.
Absolutely. So once again, it's great to have you here. You say you are passionate about working in the health and wellness business, right? Industry.
Yes, so I do have a passion for health and wellness just because of my personal situation, and I want to help people get past different obstacles that may cause them to not live the life that they want to live. And so I do believe that starts with our personal health and well-being. And so I feel like I want to do my best to help educate people in different areas of health and wellness.
Now, see, you done piqued my interest now. You said due to my own personal interest. So, we got to know. We have got to know, because now everybody done set to the front of their seat. So they're like, due to his personal interest. What is your personal interest? Tell us on Just So You Know moment with a twist what exactly is going on.
So with my personal interest is making sure that people can live the type of life that they want to live. And personally, I have a health challenge that hindered my life for a long time. And so being able to push past that was something that I'm proud of and I thank God for. And so I want to help people move past that obstacle that's keeping them from flourishing and from living the type of life that they want to live. And I think that absolutely has to do with their health and their well-being.
You're absolutely right. Health and wellness is very important. Total health, total wellness is very important. When you include your mind, body, and soul into everything that you're doing, and all of that lines up together, hey, you something to work with. Then, if you can get all of that to line up correctly and do whatever it is that you're trying to do, oh, you own it, then.
Yep. Yep. I agree. You're right.
Yeah. So tell us about your ministry.
So I have a passion for Christian apologetics, and also helping our youth and guiding them in the direction they need to go. And so I want to help our youth learn about God, learn why they should believe in God, and being able to live a life that's honoring to Him. And so when it comes to my ministry, it's going to be a ministry called I Am Completely Convinced, and that's in God's Word and His purpose for our life. And so I believe helping our youth not only understand that there's a God, but why they should believe that there's a God based on evidence, facts, and history. And I think that will give them the track that they need to run on so that they can live a life full of blessings instead of trying to live on luck and happenstance. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for you. You know, I was just thinking, part of my introduction, I always first give it honor to God, and I missed it tonight. So let me go ahead and add that in there.
Let's
First, give
do
it
it.
honor to God. We want to thank you because although it don't look like it, we know that you're still there, and we're so happy and we're so blessed that you are still in the blessing and healing business, and we thank you, God, for it. Glad we got that going there.
That's right.
Go ahead and tell us more about your ministry. It sounds really good when you were working with youth. You know, and
Yeah,
what they say, the children are our future.
they are. They are. And one of the facts and statistics that came out not too long ago is that 3 out of 4 of our youth, once they go off to college, they leave the church, they leave the faith. And I believe that can be prevented if they have the proper teaching and the proper preparation before they go out into the world and face all these people who are telling them what they're believing is myth and phony and fairy tales. And so it's something that I want to do alongside of helping with a transition ministry that I want to start using nonprofit, helping them get ready to move into the workforce and move into adulthood, because we have students who are having trouble picking out their clothes 1 year, and then they're expected to handle 50,000, 60,000, up to $100,000 in debt and making huge decisions on their own without that transition period. And so I want to help students prepare for real life and then adulthood and then go into the workforce. And so I think they need a lot of education, a lot of help instead of just getting thrown out to the wolves and hoping that they can do good. So
You are absolutely correct about that. And I can't understand what you're saying about when children leave from the stability of being home with the parents, having them to get up to go to church, or making sure that they are in church every Sunday. And then they get all of this independence once they go to college. And now they're deciding on, well, am I really churched out at this point? And do I really have to go to church? And who's gonna make me really?
exactly,
Yeah, who's gonna make me go if I don't want to go? And
exactly.
so I guess that really has to be something that's instilled in you, that not just that you're so used to going every Sunday, but it has to be in you that you really want to go. You have a desire to go. And if you lack that want and the desire to go, you're not going to go regardless of how many times you got up every Sunday at home growing
Yeah,
up to go. You're just not going to go. And
that's right.
so that's something that they have to want for themselves. And being adults and in their independence, they have to make that decision on their own.
That's right. So that freedom can be a wonderful thing, or it can be hindering and harmful to their growth and their maturity.
A curse or a blessing, a curse and a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. You know, they go from our home to college, and now they're expected to all of a sudden put on the adult suit, and some of them are not ready. And as you also mentioned, now they're packing on $50,000, $100,000 worth of student debt that they have to be responsible for. So it can be challenging. It can be overwhelming for them, and and without the proper structure, we could lose our young adults within this stage. So I commend you on this transitioning program. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so when do you expect that you're going to get that going?
I'm in the process of working on establishing the nonprofit, just getting all the paperwork and all the details together so that I can have it officially started. And then I'll work on trying to establish personnel, people who will help, because I can't do everything on my own. And so it's in the earliest stages right now, but it started nonetheless.
Okay, so y'all heard him say without saying he's going to be looking for some volunteers to come in and help him get this project off the ground. So don't start checking your call ID and you see Mr. Maxie come across that time. I ain't answering that phone call. Y'all go ahead and pick that phone up and help this man out. We trying to save these children.
Right.
It's a worthy cause.
Exactly.
All right, Mr. Maxie, you done held us off long enough. We have talked about who you are. We know you're here in Houston. We know that you were getting your ministry started. We know you love the children. We know you're into the health and wellness, and you want to do the transition and to keep the kids in church. We understand all of that. But what we want to know, what our audience wants to know, what should she know?
So what she should know is all about is a campaign that I'm promoting and bringing awareness to. Let's just be adults here. We're talking about women's feminine products or sanitary napkins. What she should know, the women in our lives should know what's going on with the products that they're using, they're putting on, and potentially in their body.
Wait a minute. Wait. So, Mr. Maxie, you're telling me that she should know is about feminine hygiene products. You, a young man, are here to school us on feminine hygiene products. Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly what I'm telling you, Dr. LaShonda.
Oh my goodness. I got to hear this. Okay, proceed.
Okay, so let's take a step back. The way that I found out about this was through a business partner, and he shared with me that he wanted me to look at a video, and he couldn't tell me what it was. I had to see it for myself. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And we all get those calls. We've had friends who are entrepreneurs and they want our support, want our opinions and things of that nature. And so when I looked at the video and I saw that it was a man talking about a women's pad and feminine products, my first instinct was, nope, don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. And unfortunately, that's the attitude that a lot of men have. But what a lot of men also have are women and young girls in their lives that they love and they care about. And the subject is taboo and it's not being talked about. And so what the purpose of our campaign is actually twofold. It's and the name of our campaign is Justice for My Jewel. The jewel being the women in our lives. And so it's really for men like myself who were really uneducated and ignorant about the whole topic and discussion when it comes to women's health. And so as somebody who's passionate about health and wellness, this was an area that affected a lot of the women in my life. Case in
Wow.
point.
That's
Case in
that's
point.
that's amazing right there. That you've taken the time to devote your time to the women in your life to ensure that they're safe with the feminine products that what they're using. That's that's commendable. Well, you know what? You're amazing.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
You are simply amazing. You know, growing up, we've always heard about all the different toxins and toxicities that happen with feminine products and all the different things that could happen with using those. But we all know that this is something that we have to have.
Yeah,
If you are a woman, at some point in your life, you're going to have to use a feminine hygiene product.
that's true. That's true. And the thing is, we all know women who have issues, whether they're talking about them openly or they're keeping them to themselves. And so that's something that I found through my research. And one of the things that really stood out to me, what pushed me over the edge of thinking about getting involved to jumping in with both feet, was when the gentleman in the video was discussing the products that they were talking about and sharing with the women. They talked about how women who are using store-bought products and commercial products, they're suffering from things like miscarriages. They're suffering from things like PCOS, endometriosis, and even going as far as cervical cancer and ovarian cancer. And when I think about this, I have a sister who suffered from miscarriages. I have friends who suffered from miscarriages. I have friends who have had to have hysterectomies because they were having issues that the doctors couldn't get to the bottom of, and their solution was, let's just remove the entire uterus. And so the campaign is really to help us men find out what's going on with the women in our lives, and then also help educate women about the potentially dangerous products that they're using on and in their bodies. And so
Yeah.
we have established this as an awareness campaign and an educational campaign to help educate men like myself as well as women all around the world.
Isn't it funny how, when you were mentioning all the different side effects to the store-bought feminine hygiene products, and their only and first result is to remove the uterus. They don't even try to make a correlation between the issues that are at hand and possibly the products that are being put in your body or that you're using. The first thing is just, oh, let's just remove the uterus.
Right. So prevalent that on average, there's 600,000 hysterectomies performed each year. And the scariest thing about that for our community is about 70% of those are African-American women. Yes. And so we're removing their ability to give birth and reproduce. And that's a problem because we're solving a problem permanently that could be fixed if we just got down to the root of the cause and what's really going on versus let's just remove any aspect of this problem. So
yeah, of it. Is this by design? Are they really taking it in consideration of let's do a little more research on what we can do besides remove the uterus? Because when you think about it, if we can't have babies, guess what? Our race starts to go into extinct.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's what our campaign wants to prevent. We want to put a dent in that number, and we want to prevent that 600,000 from continuing to increase and instead go in the opposite direction and decrease. So that's what we're doing with this campaign, starting with explaining to women that when you use these store-bought products, you have to understand that, one, the FDA does not regulate the ingredients that they're using. And so what we like to share with women, and we encourage women not to take our word for it, but to do your own research. Find out what these products are being made out of and what things are being put into them, what chemicals. For example, when we look at the traditional sanitary napkin or a woman's pad or tampons for that matter, we all think that they're using safe, clean products and ingredients when the reality is they're using trash from the landfill. They're using recycled materials, and specifically they're using recycled newspapers, magazines, and wood pulp fibers because it's cheap to make and it's easy to produce. And so that's one thing we want people to understand when it comes to the store-bought products, and we want women to make an educated decision about what they're doing, because we have so many women who are suffering from issues and they're not talking to their husbands. Some of them are afraid to talk to their doctors, and they're not talking to other women, so they don't know if the issues that they're dealing with are irregular or they're normal or they're common. And so we want to help those women who are suffering in silence. And so one of the things that comes up all the time whenever I start sharing with women, and they open up and they start to share with me what's going on behind closed doors. Even though it's a sensitive topic, it's taboo, and we're talking about something that's below the belt, we hear women on both sides of the spectrum. So we have women who talk about having an easy menstrual cycle, 2 to 3 days, no cramping, no pain, very light. And then we have women, and I've had women tell me that they've bled for weeks on end. And it's a situation that's causing marriages to fall apart. Partners are not being intimate like they were before at the beginning of their relationship. And you have women who are self-conscious about their appearance and just about what's going on with their body. And we believe with this campaign, based on all the testimonies we're getting from sharing our education and our products, women are getting their lives back. They're building their confidence back up, and they're starting to live again. And this is something that we're excited about, and we're going to get into the product that we recommend. But the most important thing is that we encourage women to do the research for themselves, right, and make educated decisions about using healthy and safe products.
And that's the most important part about it. With anything that you're using, anything that you go into, you need to learn to do the research for yourself and not just go by what someone else tells you. And just go in, pull it. Hey, who can't find Google? So
right, that's true. That's
but
true.
And I also know you need to do more extensive research than that. You got your medical guides and medical journals that you can look up with that. But I have to go back and say, when you were talking about all of the different things and the products that the store-bought feminine hygiene products are made in, like the old newspapers and recycled magazines and things like that, I think how they really are able to sell it is because they bleach it all, and now it's white.
That's true. It goes through an 8-step bleaching process. They send all those materials, even though they're brown, dark colored, they send it through an 8-step bleaching process so it looks white, pure, and clean to use.
And that's what they want to sell you on. If it's white and fluffy, then that means it's sterile. But white doesn't mean sterile.
That's true. And to take it a step further, they've now started adding fragrances and scents to the pads so that they smell good. So that's added chemicals on top of the bleach. And so it's a vicious cycle. So they're putting these harmful products out for women, and they're making money off of our pain, our women's pain. And it's sad. And so that's why we need to make women aware of what's going on so they can make the right decision.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, what else can you say with that? There's nothing else to say with that. You have to be conscious about what's going on, because even with them adding the fragrance. What about people who have sensitivity to fragrances? What about
Right.
people who have sensitivity to the chemicals that's used to bleach it white? And so those a lot of those things that you have to consider, which is why research is so important. Get you American Medical Journal and look up some of this stuff. Research these products that are being used and going into products that you use on a regular basis.
Right, right. And the sad part is not only are they putting these harmful chemicals in the products, what most people don't understand is that the same people and the corporations that own and are invested in the products, such as the commercial pads and the tampons, they're also invested in and own the companies that produce the medications that the women need after they use the products, such as the products for the rashes or for the sensitivity, the rawness, and all those different things. And so they're making money off of you using the pads, and then they're making money off of you trying to help and heal yourself from the problems that these pads caused. And so it's a win-win for them.
Absolutely.
And the only people who are suffering are our women.
So, Mr. Maxie, if somebody wanted to purchase your product, how would they get in contact with you, or how would they be able to purchase your product so that they can use it? Give us that
So
information.
it's very simple. They can go online to my website, sheshouldknow.com, or they can just shoot me a text or give me a call. They're welcome to give me a call at 713-351-9132.
Well, we should thank you for that. And ladies, he just gave out his phone number too, and she should know that he is single.
I'm actually seeing someone, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about our future, and I'm happy that I'm able to share this with her as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh man, ladies, y'all missed it. You missed it, and congratulations to your significant other. She has found a gem.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to sign off for tonight. Thank y'all so much for watching Just So You Know Moment with a Twist. Your host, Dr. LaShonda Jackson-Dean, and our guest tonight, Mr. Nikeda Maxie with She Should Know Feminine Hygiene Products, and you can find him at sheshouldknow.com. To say goodbye to everybody, can you do a Princess Way?
I'll sure try. Come on, let's do it. Like this. Thank you so much for having me on, Doctor.
Absolutely. To learn more about Dr. Jackson-Dean and the services and the books that I offer, visit me online at www.drlashondajacksondean.com. Thank you so much for watching Just So You Know Moment with a Twist, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.
This is Just So You Know Moments with a Twist. Your host, Dr. Jackson-Dean, the Pen Slayer. You ready? Let's go. Just so